Greetings. Welcome to the Untouchable Rootz Outside the Box. Yay! Let's see if bruh and sis get ready to come in. Today is what? The decoding day. Yay!
Imitation game. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
got that love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love.
Thank you. Hey, Quay.
Tell everyone, join the live.
Join the live. Share the live. Share the live.
All right.
Share the live. What up, bruh?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Hey. Y'all ready? Come on in then. Come on in, bruh. Hey, mama. Really? Y'all, I tell you the truth. What
I'm
happened?
in the room. He waited, but I didn't see.
I add him. Oh, there he go.
Okay,
Oh,
here he comes.
what was that?
Here he go. There he go.
Boy, I thought I was at Walmart. Y'all better chill out. Boy, I thought I was shopping.
Yeah. He's already in this room.
Man, what's happening? What's
GQ.
watch yourself? Watch yourself. I don't know what you're talking
Wait a minute, something about this picture. It look like it's a little clear. Ain't it? You see the little clear?
Y'all wrong. Hell, y'all wrong. Whatever. This what we doing? We doing this already? Okay, all right. Oh, y'all started it already, boy. Miss Annu Way and Maá T Phi Eir. What the hell is on cat?
You glowing.
Did you see? He said that I'm glowing. Yeah, because we can see him. He clear now. Oh,
Now.
the rain is gone.
Watch yourself, you can't stop the rain. I ain't dealing with you. Yo, hey, we glitching, everybody. We good?
We good. We good.
I ain't glitching, am I?
No, baby, you clear. You know the rain gone. The cloud, we can see you clear, bro. We sure can.
Y'all glowing right now. What the hell is it? Y'all, something happened. Y'all ain't told me something. Oh, look at it. Like, we just got finished counting those millions and shit. I ain't dealing with y'all. Whatever. Nah.
You already know. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Untouchable Rootz Outside the Box, baby.
Hey, man, share this joint, because we about to go in, man. I know, there's something different. You know what I'm saying? So
we know y'all watch the movie. We know y'all watch the movie.
Yeah, me and April are going to talk about that movie, okay?
What I do? Y'all watch the Imitation game, bro. We know y'all did.
I ain't even about to say that. Look, I just took my notes. Damn it, we gonna talk about that after.
I knew that was your notes. I know it.
And y'all talking about me.
Watch the movie. Oh, come on, down. You know, you pull out your
I'm just kidding, bro. I just kidding.
Y'all welcome. Hey, y'all out there.
Man, break it.
IG
Look.
Yes, welcome.
Oh yeah, my bad. Peace and love to everybody.
Tell a friend while we get ready to decode this movie, Imitation Game. The Imitation Game.
Look, man, look, y'all know we about some serious, we about some life, baby, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get it in.
Yes, we gonna get in. We gonna get her done.
Yeah. Real class, I know y'all might get a little nervous, be like, why does Untouchable Rootz Outside the Box want to talk about decoding the movie, man? Because there's a lot of things you got to remember. Blueprints are sometimes in the books you think mean something else and they mean something different. In movies, they write everything in movies that they write about real life. Everything comes from a real place, even if it sounds fictitiously fantasized. It comes from a real place. Right. So this movie in particular, Sus picked it. I'm pretty sure I got a nag on why Sus picked this man. But okay. I'm going to keep it professional.
Oh yeah, you looking. I'm telling you.
Yes, you are. You looking real good. Greetings.
Well,
Angel.
Greetings,
Angel.
y'all.
Three of
Greetings.
God's angels.
watch
Greetings.
yourself. Hey, share this joint. Y'all see that knowledge right there, boy? You gotta earn that, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy. That's the folks right there, boy.
He said right here. Right here,
Right
y'all.
here, boy.
Oh, right here. You talking about right here? Because, you know, I'm trying to find hairline.
No. You see, you ain't got a little, you got makeup over the rest of your forehead about this small. You got makeup covered over the rest of the hair. Your forehead about this wide. You got have one of these right now, boy. I ain't messing with y'all. No, for real. Go ahead. Start it off. What y'all want to do? Don't let me do it now. I'm trying to tell you.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's
We
get
waiting
to
for more people come on in, y'all. Share live. So we know a lot of y'all don't watch this movie.
Hey, I watched
it. They gonna have to catch the recap. We got to get into this positive vibe, baby. You know what I'm saying? Sis, y'all, my sisters be playing. You know what I'm saying? My sisters are awesome.
It's good to see you.
I don't even like y'all. I don't even like y'all. Y'all, I give y'all too much credit.
Y'all hear him complaining?
Already.
Already.
No, y'all my favorite. Y'all my favorite sisters in the world. Come on now, y'all. 3 of them.
Y'all know he's spoiled. That's what that is.
I just shared it, y'all. Share the video. Share the video.
Who's that? That's Quay out there. What after now? Quay, I'll see you out there. Oh, family life, you know. Share that shit. Share that shit. Y'all could plan. Share the damn live, bro. Hey, listen, they got too much sugar on it. Excuse my language.
He do. 3 of God's angels. He do. Yeah.
We sit here, we get ready to, we waiting on some more people to come on in, tell your friend, hey y'all, we get ready to do this decoding. That's what we do.
Look at try to hold. Don't be trying to buy time now. You know what I'm saying? Come get this magic. You heard me? We got to drop this magic on this word. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got time, baby.
Whatever. Look, you about to make me clean. Boy, let me clean my glasses, boy. Well, you know what I clean the glass, boy, I get pissed, boy. I'm trying to tell you. What's up?
You mess them up.
I'm trying to tell you, we should move some furniture. Pow.
All right. Now look, we just gave you a compliment about you being clear. You need to stay clear. Oh, okay.
I thank you. I thank you so much.
Moving along.
Look, the balance of the top people. Who said that?
Quay.
Well, they're a little shorter than us, aren't they?
And that's okay though, because we still giants when y'all get through. Because none of y'all can fit my shoes.
Who said that? Where you at? Who said that? You under the line. You under the block. I ain't see you, so it's my bad.
None of y'all can fit my shoes, so I'm grateful.
I don't know. I like my side.
That's right.
Staying over.
Shit. Hey, man, look.
Yes, I sure do. I sure do. I don't need nobody trying to fit in my damn shoes. They can't walk in my shoes at all whatsoever.
You wear kid shoes?
Yep, I sure do.
Hey, but no, everybody's still in the clear. Everybody can still hear each other. It's the everything's still good. But
yeah, everything on the technical side is
yes. We thank y'all supporting us. We want to thank y'all for the YouTube. We got 50 people that had over 50 people. We want to say thank you so much. Gratitude for the following, for the support on IG, Facebook, on everything that we do. Thank y'all.
Yes.
Wait, get your mama. Get her.
Yes, we appreciate each and every one of you.
I do. We do.
We do.
I got 555 before we got on this dang on live though. That I did not mean to the Ryan. That was so corny. I swear I got 555 before I got up on here. I swear on everything, man, for real.
We know it. We know things shifted and changed.
Hold on. Before we start, let me see your wrist. Annu Way, put both of your wrists up on the camera. Do like this. Hold your wrists up like that. You ain't got no damn. Is it a watch on? You ain't got no watch. How the hell you gonna know what I saw 555? You ain't see nothing. You ain't got no watch on. How you
watch
feel?
On to see 555.
Whatever.
Okay. You ain't got. I just told you. I control the time in my world.
What? All right. Look. See, I gotta put the. Hey, look, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. You know what I'm saying? we got to try to be, you know. Let's decode this joint. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it in. Don't be nervous, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get it in your mind. That's if the Imitation game. Like I saw it, but sis brought it back to light. You know what I'm saying? Ankh brought it back up. I'm like, man, I was avoiding it. I see the trailer at first. I didn't want to do it at first because I'm like, it looked like one of the ones you gotta have that energy to sit down on. I like war movies, black and white joints, but a lot of people can't handle it because the dialogue be kind of like sometimes slow. Some people, I just, you know, I like stuff like this. So I mean, going into it, a lot of people probably need to have an open mind even before you do. You got to have an open mind. Okay, no judgment.
Right.
But no, man, honestly, even at the beginning of the movie, you got this guy named Alan. You know what I'm saying? Alan Turing. Turing, it's a weird last name, but we just going to call him Alan so people don't get confused. At the beginning of the movie, you know what I'm saying, before it even started on, you can tell my man's got an ego problem already as it is. He basically wanted to tell everybody, you know what I'm saying, that he basically was empowered that you were not. At the beginning of the whole movie, I'm like, okay, it started off egotistical. Like, my man's like, okay, I'm in control of everything. Everybody be quiet. I got everything on hand. But by word for word, my man said he has full-on experience. He's more convincing and he's in control and you're not. So he's talking to the audience, which would be us. So this is spoiler because we're about to go into all that. You know what I'm saying? This goes into the person, the character itself, and Alan is the character. Of course, he has a lover. Of course, there's antagonists. But the decode of that is, let's start out talking about my man's house got broke in, but nothing was took. I want to touch on that. Let's go ahead and tell why that happened. Why it happened? Oh, y'all don't want to go? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going then. Look,
No,
my man, Alan.
wait, how many people in the audience watched him?
I'm gonna keep going.
I love the beginning of the movie. It tells you everything if you actually are attentive to what not being said.
Basically, my man was he was fully on intelligent more than anything. Alan was a genius. He is a genius. You could say he was differently artistic. You know what I'm saying? He was artistic in a way because he's seen numbers and read codes differently than a lot of people would see numbers like us, like regular mathematics. He's seen patterns. He's seen frequencies. He's seen sounds. So in his mind, he seen problems solved in his head when he looked at technology. And he was a full-on scientist, like off the rip, even from young age. You know what I'm saying? He dealt with a lot of things where he separated himself from a lot of people because he was dealing with a lot of personal things. You know what I'm saying? That he was fighting with also, you know, the whole thing, bullying, no friends, people around you, people picking on you per se. It was very horrible dealing with the bully point of the standpoint because I never got bullied to that point. I only got bullied once or twice in my whole life. And that was the last part to see that, like, for what they did to him. Like, but if y'all didn't, they put him under the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, and nailed it shut, like almost like casket style. So it kind of bothered me because I don't like that because bullying people cause people to commit suicide and kill each other, things and so forth, shoot up schools and all that. But Alan dealt with that just because he was different. He was different in a lot of ways. But there was like one friend that stuck by him. It was always that one, like you sent a guardian through somebody or something that he had by him that also disappeared at some point. But nobody knows what happened to him. A friend that Alan had disappeared out of the blue. You understand me? And he was the only one that gave him something that he would probably never forget, which was a magical book. It was a book about codes, decoding things. And he never put the book down because of how he gave it to him. He gave him this book, he learned it, he loved it, he looked at the codes or whatever, and then his friend just magically disappeared one day without understanding or understanding. So the movie had you, it starts off a little bit slow for a couple minutes, but it pulls you in, it makes you want more. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just gonna sit here and just look at me like, it's just like, no, honestly, like,
we get to it, right? Come on.
Like, I really like this, you know what I'm saying? Just reading this, man, because it bothered me because through the whole process, they just went straight off into him from being young and jumping straight off of him to being older, they did it backwards for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They played the whole movie somewhat backwards and forward, which I mean by they showed him young and then showed him old, and then at the end you would see that they showed the end part, the middle parts. That's very important, which is the house being broken in, cops come in, but he wanted them to leave. There was nothing stolen, but just a lot of stuff broken up. Alan, he worked for I'm gonna say the government. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm not gonna say the name, but y'all know what it is. Very in depth, low key, secret like in a way. But he worked for them. It was like World War II at the time, and this also is based on a true story. And of course, they had some speculation to spice it up, but they'd never take it because then you can put somebody in jail. Alan personality, I'm looking to the side because it was a little bit of a lot. It was dry. He was, you know what I'm saying, it was sarcastic because he was a mathematician. He was very good at math, you know what I'm saying, and they hated him for that. So he comes into the movie with the full-on ego because he thinks he's better than everybody. There was something called the Enigma. Like I say, this is a very powerful thing because it's based off a true story. This is about, I looked at it as a machine. This is about AI. I looked at it as AI. The whole thing we're going through today, where they trust a machine to do everything, to medically do everything. And they kind of make you nervous a little bit to basically decode the war with the, you know what I'm saying, the Nazi thing. I don't want to say too much of that, but it was a dealing with the war with the Nazis and things like that. And they had to break the code of the Enigma machine that they had to basically break that code. So silent speech, different language, so that the Americans can't they can't find out basically what they're talking about. So they needed the smartest guy in the world to basically decode this dang on machine. If anybody can break the Enigma, which they looked at Alan for that, instead of him breaking it, my man was so intelligent, this man decided to, instead of breaking it, he decided to make a machine that was better than it. You know what I'm saying? Then down the line while we're talking, I could go into the name of what he named it, because actually he named it Christopher. But the government, they had a better, more professional government name for it. But Alan named this machine Christopher, and that comes with a whole nother thing of being alone. Somebody that was closed off from the world to the point machines was his best friend. That was the one that loved him. And this man also fought with his sexuality, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, he, the only person that came to his rescue was a young man. Like I said, he disappeared at the beginning of the movie. And he dealt with his sexuality because also he went to a school. Not saying all school, if it's all boys or all girls, you will be considered the class of, you know, being lesbian or gay, if we want to say that in a respectful manner, you know what I'm saying? But this young man fought with his sexuality, you know what I'm saying? The guy that he was best friend with was the one that gave him the book. You know what I'm saying? He believed in him, protect him, fought against the bullies and all this, you know what I'm saying? So I looked at it. A lot of guys probably wouldn't, you know, they probably like, I don't want to. No, it was deeper than that, man. Like, you love who you love. I'm gonna say that like that. I don't care who you love. They bringing you peace. You love who you love. But I'm gonna say this. But this young man fought through that in this all boys school, and he sat there, and you know what I'm saying. They basically just, it was bad. They bullied him bad because he was different. But this young man that was his best friend had somewhat faked his death in a way because he just disappeared. My man just disappeared. But if I'll tell you more about that when we get to the end of this live about what he popped up at some point. He allegedly caught a harbor, you know what I'm saying, and he left. And what that is somebody faking their death. That's when you got parents that work for the government, you know what I'm saying, that had to fake their parents probably had to fake their death too and disappear for a while. Because
right.
They were probably,
see, he showed him compassion. And
right.
that's
I didn't understand that.
Right.
So it's kind of, it was weird. It was just like, it was a lot of compassion. Old boy was crying like a mud, man, because it was beyond what he actually fell in love with his, you know what I'm saying, his little friend or whatever, because he was the only person that gave him compassion. You know what I'm saying? You in the school, all fellas or whatever, not saying because you go there, that's going to happen. But in this scenario, based on true story, Alan was a man that liked the other men, but he tried to, you know, go back and forth with the bisexual joint or whatever, tried to get married to a lady or whatever. But you can't fake who you are, bro. If you are who you are a genius. Be a genius. If you like whatever you like, love it to the fullest. Don't let nobody judge you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what you do. And as far as the movie per se, the dude had a very dangerous job where they could have possibly killed my man's off after he built this machine to decode the enigma for this Nazi war. You understand? When they do this whole Nazi war thing, man, I'm trying to tell you, it might sound like it was a lot going on because it was. You had to really pay attention like I said, at the beginning of the movie. He said, if you don't pay attention, it was reverse psychology because they wanted you to pay attention to everything. If you don't pay attention, you will miss a lot. Just off 5 seconds, you will miss. So I had to pause this movie about 100 times to even write down the notes that I did, because to decode 20 million plus years of settings, you know what I'm saying, to win a war. So that means the Nazi war had to keep on changing the settings of this machine every 24 hours, let alone probably every 20 minutes. And then they had to start all over again to figure out what the code was after that. Just so the Americans couldn't find out their code were like, hey, this is a nice sunny day or something like that. That could have meant 2 kilometers from away. They were about to bomb
They were bombing them everywhere. They was knocking them out.
Everywhere. But they couldn't read the codes because they couldn't figure out where they was at.
Exactly.
I felt like there was so much going on. I'm like, bro, hold on, let me pause this movie right quick. My man dealing with self-trauma. His parents really didn't care about it. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it was a lot going on with that. It was a lot. Boy was going through so much, man. Alan got the business. And his passion was mechanics. And I kept coming in the result of just, dude, this is about the AI thing that's going on now with all these machines taking over everything, because he kept saying that, so you're telling me this machine, you basically want to put almost a brain inside a machine to basically think for itself. So this has been an idea. It's no secret. You can Google this, man. It's nothing secret that we talking about. Like, this is a movie based off true stories, some fictitious, I'm sure, to spice it up. But dude, you look at the movie, it's like, well, damn, this is going on now. So when you look at it, man, it's like he wanted to build a machine to break all codes, the Enigma communication frequencies. They working with frequencies. You understand me? Words back in the war times, you dealing with some whole root chakras all the way to the third. You know what I'm saying? So in the crown, they dealing with things where a machine will control everything that's going on to decode in seconds. Of anybody trying to speak any code language in seconds with this new machine Alan called Christopher. They didn't want him to build this shit. You always got to have some damn antagonist there, or like some captain or some shit like that trying to stop him from doing it, because they didn't believe in what he was wanting. They always do this to people that's geniuses, man. They do this all the time. They bullied this man through this whole process, but ended up saving everybody. But what must be built as positive must be dumped down.
The whole country, right? The whole country.
Yeah.
The whole country. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the worst habit I noticed that he kept repeating certain words, like, you know what I'm saying? If he said there's 20 minutes to a minute to decode this dang on machine, I was like, why dude keep repeating itself? You know, so certain words he kept repeating. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I want a sandwich. Dude kept repeating itself. It was competitive. Like, he had to keep reminding himself of who he was over and over. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for y'all that don't know what we're talking about the movie, you know what I'm saying, the Imitation Game on Netflix. Imitation Game. They said we ain't getting paid by
It's based on a true story.
So, like, I mean, get it in, like, y'all. I mean, how y'all feel about it? Like, honestly, like, because it's a whole lot more that was going on. They had a lot of twists and turns.
My perspective of the movie, where I decode, it was a whole lot of different subliminal messages that wasn't said in the movie, and it was a lot of how we treat each other and not even know that, you know. When it come out to, you can't be your own unique self, and that's anybody, because everybody is creative. So people judge you. So we deal with a judgment mentality. You know what I'm saying? We dealt with a narcissist, because that's what he was. He became a narcissist because he was only by himself. And people don't know, when you are alone, you become a narcissist. Especially when it comes to masculine energy, but not saying feminine energy can't do that either. Women don't do that either. But because he was already a genius, he don't. You call him a narcissist because he didn't know no better. He didn't know that he was doing what he doing. He didn't understand, and that was the thing. Because it was one
you said feminine energy, though. They were very. I had to say, just because you said the word feminine, they were very feminist, bro. back in them days, a female was not allowed to work with another man. All y'all basically, to them back in the day, all women were worth was being assistants, janitors, and different things like that. You were never allowed to hang, I guess you want to say, with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Fixing the tanks, flying the fighter jets, and all this type of thing. They were very feminist, where Alan had to literally sneak the old girl house, give her some of the codes on the low key to help him figure it out, because the men couldn't help him fully. She odd duck, like sis, Queer Guys Angel said, was an odd duck.
But that goes back to this thing. He was so into, he never met anybody that was his
like
capacity of genius. Okay?
Yeah.
He never did. Okay? Until this lady came along. And that right there, when he saw a reflection, he fell in love, infatuated by a female, a woman that he never had feelings for. Because he always had feelings for his sexuality he was dealing with, is what my brother said. He was actually a homosexual. And how he became a homosexual is because of Christopher. The boy that kept him safe and protecting him.
Remember,
became his lover.
Did he name Christopher the Machine after old boy?
Yeah. It became his lover. And because of that, and that's how it starts, because when you're lonely and you so in a corner and you got this person that come and show compassion, show the love and everything to you, who else he was gonna do? He didn't have no, he was a young teenage boy at an all boarding school. Of course he gonna fall in love with him, because of the simple fact how he treated him. He never mistreated him. He the one told him he would be excellent at decoding. And because of that, that's the reason why he named the machine Christopher. Because if it wasn't for Christopher supporting him and actually leading him to do that, he would have never been able to have that experience to be able to save no one in the whole in that country. He would have never.
Now let me ask you also.
Computer.
Did you keep the feel that this whole movie was about accepting somebody? I swear the whole movie felt like it was about accepting people for who they were, like no matter what they was doing. I felt like the whole movie.
Right, it's about accepting people for who they are, but also, I also saw, let me tell you what else I saw. Okay, I saw a pedophile I sure did. Okay, I sure did. When the little boy on the train, okay, because they show you little things for a reason. Okay.
I think these did get,
that haven't been spoken. So you see a little boy that's like you. Why you admire? Because see, you don't look at people. You don't do certain things. So why did you look at the boy that's being isolated?
That part.
Right. That part right there. He focused on that little boy and was admiring him, and he was. Because what? He was still stuck with Christopher because he was in love. They never showed him being in a relationship with nobody. But
they kept it like the old school movie used to be. Sometimes like the songs used to be, sometimes it's good to just keep food for thought. Everything gonna have to be so upfront, raunchy, crazy, murderer, gore. Like they kind of kept it. You kind of figured, oh, that's what happened. All right, cool. You kind of just left it at where it was at.
Remember what happened with the house that was what was broken into, and then come to find out he was at the pub. Describing trying to get something from a woman and wind up meeting these two young boys, and then had that young boy that want to touch his dick, and then they went to his house and broke in his house to fuck him up, and they didn't want to take anything. It's because he touched his dick. That's why. That's the reason why.
Well, like I said, I was talking to him, and I watched the movie 4 times for myself.
That's what he told you. You got to hear the story. That's what he said.
I watched it. Let me tell you, 4 times, because me personally, I didn't see the pedophile, but I did see. I do agree with the uniqueness, that he had us being able to accept people for their differences and who they are, letting them be. Because what I did notice is when you didn't never see his family, and even when Christopher was supposed to be coming back, why was he the only kid that was there already, and everybody bringing their stuff back? And they went on a great. Makes me think that he was an orphan because they didn't show anything.
He was the
orphan. He was an orphan for sure.
Yeah, so
that was cold-blooded.
That's how I gathered that he was an orphan. And then, so when he came back, then he wanted to deny the whole fact. And you know what he said about lying. You know, he was just like, I didn't know him that well. He said, well, man, I thought that was this and that. And my whole thing was that, you know, that whole point, he didn't want to admit to knowing him like that because he had just wrote this letter that said, I love you. So I don't, you know, like I said, we all interpret the movie our own way. And so it was like, wow, he loved him. Was this the first time he was going to tell him or what? Because, I mean, I don't know. You know, to me, it didn't seem like they had it. It seemed like he was so much in love with him to me. So I was like, wow. So it was for me seeing how he helped him because he made a comment in the beginning when he gave him the book about communication. He was So he would always do his work publicly. He said, hey, I think you would really like this book. But he communicated well with Christopher. So when he got this book, you know, and he started doing this, that was him to be able to do something that he was good at because he already believed he didn't know how to communicate well. People would say things and he was like, I just don't understand what they're saying.
And he studied too.
Yeah, and he studied.
Right.
So
me
having a naval background, I did the exact same thing that he was working with in the military. I did Morse code, I did semaphore, I did searchlight. We had to talk through communications like that. And we had to use flags, we used all these things in communication. And so you try to, you know, do those things in the older ways, you know, Morse code, the searchlight, then you register those flags. So this is communication. But we had radio men too, and that began to take over. My job became obsolete in the military. So when you have this communication going on, you got these trying to send a certain message, you got your code words, you have all these different things. So when I was looking at how he was having all this, you know, doing all this decoding and all this stuff, it just is like he was able to be stimulated by him giving him something. And he was so in love with this person that he created something that would bring him back because he missed him. So it's just, to me, to show the power of the mind to create something. Because he said, I want to not be able just to ask it something and to give me something, but I want to be able to reprogram it and continue to put in input into it and it give me back. And then we can reprogram it again. And that was the whole thing that when he created this later came to be what we use today as our computers. Right. But it just lets you know that you can come in for a purpose, just to create something, because he was so focused, man. He didn't you know, have the conversations. Like, he was like, you never asked me that I want to go to lunch. And it was like, I was sitting there like, man, it's like, sometimes for some people, you got to talk like that because they be like, you didn't really ask me that, but you know what I meant. And it's like, well, you didn't say that, so you didn't say it. You know what I mean? So yeah. So he was just like, so that whole point was once again a communication. So he felt so comfortable, you know, doing these puzzles and all these and deciphering his codes, these symbols. He was able to read that like he was saying. Huh?
Let it happen again. You see stuff coming down for me.
Y'all can hear it.
You go ahead. So you rocking your phone, keep interrupting.
Yeah. So. You know, so what I was really, you know, enjoying is that how the passion of and the love can cause you to create something, you know, that is so, you know, magnificent. And it was just like, wow, you know, he really created this to bring it back, named Christopher, did all these different things. But what I did understand in the movie from it doing the way the screenwriter did it, how it was flashed back and forth, you know, it was doing a flashback type of script where it kept going back and forth. And what I seen, the subliminal messages for me were when you seen all these kids. This was like, you know, based off a true story. So all these kids did get all the children were taken away from their parents. And truth be told, a little snippet on that part is that nobody knows where all those children went. But anywho, they all took them from their parents, and that nobody knows where all those children. None of those children have been accounted for since. But anyway, we're gonna move on past that part. But you know, they was all taken away. But then you see the bombing, you see the all the children, and then you see them in a bunker where they were like hiding out, and all that to me was reflective of how Alan felt. He had a war going on with inside himself. Yeah. Right. He had high, you know, which is also when they put him in the floor and they locked him in there. But he knew that if I act like, you know, right, if I act like I'm not bothered by this no more and just relax and breathe, they'll leave me alone. And they didn't like it because he took their power, because they were enjoying what they was doing until he stopped participating and acting like he did. So I also
what did he say about balance? Remember, he didn't like violence. Why he didn't like violence?
What you say?
I'm saying why he didn't like violence. That was the question I asked. Why he didn't like violence? Why he didn't fight back? Why he don't like the war? He didn't help out because he wants to fight. You know what I'm saying? He was helping out because of simple fact.
Though, man, he didn't care about that war. He didn't care about that war.
He didn't give a fuck
All he
about
cared
the
about
war.
was Christopher, man.
He knew that he can help build because if not, you know. So he didn't care about the violence because he already knew what that was. That was building up testosterone, something that, you know, that proving you that you more masculine, you more better. That's basically what he was saying. And it's not necessary.
Right. He said it's basically they being in their ego. That they got satisfaction is what he said.
Right, exactly.
From it. And that was the point of their ego. But then, you know, like I'm saying, so it was to me just how, you know, the power of the mind and how that passion could stimulate someone to create something like that. And that just, you know, it was just amazing to me, you know, for him to do that. But I also see that that's our issue when we do always try to recreate something or make something like something. We always fail at that because it never turns out being what it really was. We have to be able to accept things for how they are, what they were, and the time that he had to spend with Christopher, and it was what it was. It was just like he just seemed like he had so much turmoil that was going on because he just couldn't be who he was, but he loved the woman. But, you know, of course, he didn't want to be in that individual relationship with her. He just loved it because, number one, what did he say? He couldn't communicate well, but he could communicate well with her. And she was smarter than all the rest of them in there. So that she could help him. And he knew the benefit. Right. He knew the benefit of having her around. He's like, yeah, I really do love her because we can communicate. We can talk about anything. He couldn't do that. But I don't want to ask
he could sexually be with her.
But that was his desire. So he could communicate. And so his communication was key. It was the most important thing. Because that's what, you know, but what I have a question about is in the part of the movie when he finally broke the Enigma code, I just wanted to know what was up with him. Was it Kane Cross or whoever? Because he hugged everybody else when they broke the code. They was all hugging everybody else. But him and Kane Cross they just looked at each other and they had this look in their eye. It was like you pausing and then they went back.
That was a code.
So that was like, was they seeing each other? Because they never hugged. And I was like, you know, because he's the one that said, I quit my job. You know, we don't get it. You know, you're going to have to fire me too. You know what I mean? Right. So, I know
some things they didn't let happen, but I think it was something going on with that. You know what I'm saying? They left a lot of food. They kind of like, you know.
Yeah, they just looked at each other, but everybody else was hugging and people came over afterwards, but they never embraced or anything. And then what else I want to say? When I stopped to read the paper to say that he was in trouble because he was having a relationship with what it said on a piece of paper, a 19-year-old, because I paused it to read it. I did too. So I was like, he's having a relationship. So to me, he was doing this a lot with whoever was around during his times of being, you know, working on his job.
Because he was 27 years old. You know what I'm saying? And he was a professor. Okay? And you got to know, it's a lot of students at the college, at the universe, that he was getting involved with.
Right.
And
but bro, everybody genius though. I was waiting on one of y'all to say it. The most incredible thing was that whole dang on movie, man. Like to basically initiate somebody in something that damn important and that confident was that damn. Hire somebody off doing a puzzle in less than 6 minutes. They basically tested everybody's brain capacity on who can solve a word puzzle to get hired into a government secret agent's like type. Dude, this is Alan's idea.
This was 6 minutes
because they had to burn everything. They lied about they said they lied for 50 years about the whole thing about Alan. The paper that you're talking about that had the information.
They did all that, yeah.
They had to do that.
They had to do that. Him in 2013. Waited till 2013 to pardon him. Do you understand? But let's say that. Okay, we know that Christopher wind up at the he wind up finding out that Christopher died, and so he didn't know how to take that because he didn't know that Christopher was sick with
parents were secret, bro, because he had to, it's almost like he had to fake his death though. Like if his parents was in something important as well, Christopher, that young, had to be lied to. It was a conspiracy. Like, you know, like Sis say, got three God, you know, say three of God's angels say it's a conspiracy. Because nobody talked about how my man Christopher popped up at the end of the damn movie. He was already in the agency. He just staring at Alan like, yeah, I'm the dude that gave you the book, but you don't know who I am. You can't good. But Alan knows something different about this dude. You know, it was something different about this guy that kept popping up and talking in the background and had power to make decisions over all of who get hired and who gets fired.
A secret agent that they had brought in to watch Alan.
That was Christopher.
I'm telling you, Christopher had got that one Christopher, because he don't even look the same. You have to look at them. They didn't. He had died from cancer.
Hear me out.
No, CB.
He had tuberculosis.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
As a kid, y'all forgot the last part of the movie. At the end of the movie, when he made that deal with him, it's been a while. He looked at him differently. Not the guy that, you know, that was in the robbery helping to build a machine, but the guy that stood behind everybody that knew the one guy was a mole, which is a traitor that has, you know, had the Bible in the
That was not Christopher.
No,
he was not
talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the guy that stood behind. When they came to the office, the first hire out, the guy
he was too old.
Bro, that was old boy. I'm trying to tell you, he still like he had something. He looked like he was still sick. Old boy, like he had something. So when he was young, I'm telling you, that was the man that faked this.
Because I didn't see it. I just saw that they knew about Christopher and they utilized, let me tell you, they utilized your genius, your gift, your creativity for what they want to use, and then kick you to the motherfucking curb because they could have saved him. He saved the fucking world.
One part,
and then he go to court.
Bro, so I'm gonna cut you, right, all up in there. Bedroom scene. Old boy in the bedroom scene when Alan ran to the house to go look for old girl. Old boy that was sitting on the side of the bed, and he said, I knew that you would become a great coder. He was the boy that gave him the book. Old boy faked his death, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man. Sister, go back and listen to that. Old boy sat on the side of the bed and said, when I gave you that book, I knew you was going to be it.
But, that's
I just like in the comments, come on, y'all. What y'all saying?
All I know is how they use us. And then because if he really was cared about Alan, he knew he had to go to court. He knew more stuff about him and everything that was going on. He knew that they was looking for him. He knew that they was going to do the things that they were going to do to him. He knew that he was a homosexual. So guess what? He wound up taking hormone pills, chemical pills,
but see,
to kill his ass.
That
goddamn way.
Was at the end of the movie too that said that was illegal for them to do that. Killing people, man. That shit was killing people.
That was back in that time when he came with it. That was labeled a disease. You know, homosexuality was the label a disease, and they gave them. You know, they had to take the castration, chemical castration, or go to prison.
Yeah.
He didn't want to spend 2 years in prison, and he didn't want to be away from his machine because he was in love with Christopher, and he had lost Christopher one time. He did not want to lose Christopher again because he created in his work.
It wasn't just the main focus on his friend, though. Alan's full-on passion was what we kind of all deal with, was his work, his craft. Christopher was just part of that, the soul of what motivated him, but the machine itself, his hands on them numbers, man, that was like a walking love scene for us. He was in love with technology.
That's one thing.
He was. Because that wasn't the only machine that he built. He built multiple machines.
Yeah. Just like me with my writing, man. Like I love my writing just that much. Just like how my man was so passionate with it. He was willing to take a horrible medicine, which is at y'all watch the end of the movie. They got in trouble for that. You know what I'm saying? They stopped it from happening, from them having to take this dang on horrible medicine because you know what I'm saying, you like the same sex or whatever the case may be. They made people take that back in the day. So basically, it was killing him. They said either do that and keep your machine or take the medicine.
Right. Because it was a mental illness, considered a mental illness back in that day before they took the diagnosis away. And so it was like, so it was like I was like torture, you know, for him to have to do that. And I think that, you know, that was. But
if it wasn't for old girl coming back to let him know what he done, because he never thought that he was mounted anything. He never thought that he was worth anything. Never did. Until she came back and told him, nigga, do you not know I caught the train and got off over here? Yeah. I got off over here on this street. And you know why that street is there? Because of you. That we create
for you,
and
though.
help other people. And we don't even know the extent of who we are and what we done for someone else because of the trauma and the low self-esteem that we have about ourselves and what the other people have told us.
Three guys, Angel said something to what you said.
He didn't. That's the whole thing. He acted like it, but he didn't know that. He just know what he knew how to do.
Create something that I lost, and I'm gonna find a way to bring it back. And like you know,
Christopher, that's love,
right? But like he said, he was playing what he was doing, and that's the whole part that I'm saying. That's the imitation game to me because it was like I can't have you, but I'm gonna create something.
There you go.
I can be intimate with you all the time, and that was my whole thing. That's why he even had love for the woman because she could communicate. She could, you know, get that with him, but it just wasn't from whom you know he wanted it from.
Check the comment right at the bottom.
Three of guys, Angel said the brother is talking about. He said that I always knew that you would crack it or become something. Done.
Yeah, he said that. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that. But I mean.
But to show what y'all said, not to cut what y'all said, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, it was all, he had a lot of obsessions, man. Like, when it came to what showed him love, being bullied so much, anything that showed him love at the time, he probably would have embraced it in depthly. You know what I'm saying? That dude put it to the floor. You know what I'm saying? Anything at that point, but it was a coyote, he would have had it close to his heart. You know what I mean?
It could have been a girl. It could have been anybody. If they would have showed love, he was going to embrace it.
Yeah.
Man, look.
Because he never received it in the beginning. He never received the proper love he needed in the beginning. His dad used to beat on his mama. He tried to help his mama, and his mama turned on him. That's how the hell he ended up gone.
That was some BS, though. I hate
but
that,
you know,
man. Like,
that happen in a lot of households all the time, and people don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's why my man. That's why my man said. He said at the beginning, I ain't think he was serious because I like two major parts, but. Dude,
yeah, he had went off to jail, and the only reason why they let him out was because they knew how smart he was, so they had to hire him as a secret agent to come in and do the government stuff, you know, so he can be out, be free.
But you know, honestly, the only thing I really didn't like about the movie is the fact that old girl had to hide though. For them, they couldn't even put like the feminizing shit to the side so they could solve a damn war. Like, you know what I'm saying? Old girl had to fake and lie to her parents to be an assistant, but she was actually more of a genius next to him.
All of them was very smart, but the woman also comes in to bring balance. Just like you come in to bring balance with these three women, that lady came in to bring balance. So you have to know why she was there.
But she was there for, you know, yin and yang. Yin and yang.
It helped him. She helped him to communicate. She told him the very thing Christopher said and said that you have to know, because how you going to get them to like you? Right. You got to be able to communicate and listen to them because you can't do it by yourself.
Right.
You can't That's what I said.
Bring it down.
She helped him. She helped him bring that balance to him, and he tried with the corny jokes and the fruit. He tried.
He did, and you know, and he understood that he couldn't
all y'all
because
speaking
they
is
thought
valid. Hey, hold on, before y'all continue, for everybody that just came in the room, for y'all don't know, we talking about the Netflix movie, The Imitation Game, that was based on a true story, something that happened in World War III. And we doing our basically a rating, reaction, and we decode that joint because a lot of these movies have a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? That y'all gotta pay attention to. Hey, look, y'all see that? See, you see that little short woman over there? I'm telling you, she about to cut all across it.
I was just letting them know that it's World War II, not 3, because they ain't happened yet.
I just said two. Damn it, 2. I just said 2. Damn it, 3 times. World War II. God damn it. Why the hell would you think somebody say World War III? Damn it, don't say that. Don't say that. I did not say that. No, I didn't.
No, yeah, you did.
I said that.
Yeah.
I am really glad that we all took the time out to watch the Imitation Game so that you could really see all the fake fuckery that goes on, that's not just openly put out in your face, but in order to decode and see some shit. Because when it all boiled down to it, that is also how cryptocurrency was created.
Exactly.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
It's been out
here for a long time. Because he was doing crypto a long time ago before he created that machine.
He did mathematician crypto codes.
Yeah.
But cryptocurrency, they still ain't found that motherfucker. Okay, they don't even know who owns that shit. That's how secret that shit is. They don't even know who owns it. It's supposed to be a president for every major business and corporation. It's so goddamn secret. They don't even know who the hell is up under the damn currency. So if somebody stole your crypto, you ain't got nobody to claim to, man.
After he done saved the whole country, and he
treat them like a nobody.
They treated him like a nobody.
Old boy killed himself. He committed suicide.
Tesla, Steve Jobs,
and Tesla. They did Tesla the same thing. The same thing. They did all these geniuses. They did them the same way. They fucked them and kicked them to the curb. Exactly what they did.
What you say about who? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna do like the celebrities do. I'm not agreeing with what she is saying. That name that she has, that company that she said, I ain't got shit to do with that.
But the thing is, that's what happened to him. Because if you watch the movie, they put it out there. That's what they did to that man, and he wound up committing suicide because there was no way that he would have been able to continue to live.
But he was doped up off that medication too, bro. Like he was doped up off that medication too, man. They messed up his mind, man, and he killed himself at the end because he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy right out.
She gave him his flowers and told him how powerful he was and what he done, and that's all he needed was to know that he meant something.
But so let me ask you something.
He didn't fulfill his purpose. He had like he had no purpose.
Well, hold up. I want to go off of that theory you just said, man. Like, do you think we should always stick by that when we say we giving people their flowers, man? It's almost like they're giving you your flowers to die.
No, that's why you give them while they're alive. You don't wait till they dead to give them some shit that on.
Look at me.
You don't get
I don't
your flowers. I like flowers because then you give to show the beauty. You give your wife the flowers for beauty. You give your husband the flowers for beauty.
No. I'm a grown ass man. Don't give me no flowers. Just show me some love.
But that's why we give flowers verbally. We do it verbally and not.
Bro, you're doing well.
Why can't it? So if we bought you some flowers, you wouldn't accept because you're grown ass.
Sus, don't say that like that. I'm not racist towards flowers. Don't do that. Listen to what I'm saying. I want y'all to give me one answer though. What do flowers do when they're done?
They die.
Okay,
right.
But
don't give me no flowers. Whatever.
You can dry up if you can use them for potpourri. Now what? Okay.
Look, Granny,
you put me your bath water.
You put me your bath water. So okay.
You can make rose water. And cleanse your skin with it.
You sure can. You can detox with it.
You gotta get bro no flowers.
Smoke it. You sure can.
Look,
okay.
Listen to me. Listen, you ain't listening to me. Bro don't need no flowers. You give me some tequila or 6 packs. Give me the spirits. Let me work the rest. Don't give me no damn flowers. Tequila or 6 packs.
Give him the spirits.
Give me the spirits, because that's what they is. Anytime y'all drink. Hold on. This one, this short one here, she'll talk you. Boy, I swear I got to cut her. Yo, I got to cut her. That's my sister. I got to cut her. Short stack. Shh. Break it down. It's spirit. So I got to do this. Spirits, anytime you drink alcohol, I want y'all to know that. I know we just jumped off. Just know that you drinking spirits is all ritualistic, man. When you drink some alcohol, man, detox, spiritually detox after that, because anytime you drink a certain alcohol, where it comes from.
Right.
Yeah, but me, I'm protected. I don't get tequila. Well, still.
Greetings. Welcome, y'all, to Untouchable Rootz Outside the Box. We are decoding the movie Imitation Game. Yes.
Based on a true story, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
We want to take some comments.
Yes, about the movie.
Well,
Because
she been saying something the entire time, and I thank you for taking the time out to even watch it with us, to even know what we was talking about. So thank you for that. And
So
yes,
flowers
are 3 of God's angels. That's
oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
I've been trying to hit them. Because I've been trying to read them all when I be seeing them.
Okay, see.
You know what I'm saying? It says not the actual flower. Yeah, I mean, it's just, not, of course, don't get bro no real flowers. But that's the concept we say, give your flowers, give your love. But with me, man, just show it. Just show the love. I don't want to leave here yet. I ain't trying to transition no time soon, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But don't say World War III no more. We ain't saying that no more, because we know what the hell is going on around here.
No, I
didn't. Why you lying like that? If I said it, it's probably on my mind. I ain't gonna lie.
You gonna say it. You said an apology.
You said.
Look, Maá T, damn it! Don't do this.
You want an apology when you said it.
I swear, I just all everywhere. Y'all playing games. Y'all mean to me. Y'all don't like me. Y'all racist against melanin people. Oh my God. I love my sister. Y'all getting on my skin. I'm proud of this. I got the the movie right.
I know it's not between your ass right now. I just know it ain't.
I'm gonna lose the shoe.
You could be saying this is a safe space.
I'm gonna lose the shoe. I'm gonna lose the shoe. It's that Capricorn side. We get fired up. We get fired up.
We don't want you to go up on the doggone on floor. We ain't trying to do that. We ain't trying to trap you up on the floor. None of that.
What? Boy, hey, whoa. No, I won't fit, but you will. I wouldn't even have to try.
No, I won't.
And you go right under the ground. Put the nail on that mother. Garlic around that mother.
Stop it. Hey, bro, what you rate the movie?
Oh, hell yeah. You just hit. That was the last part of the dang on paper I had. Like, honestly, I'm going to have to give it an 8. 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10 for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
Only because it, like I said, with any movie, even westerns, I love westerns, but if it dragged a little bit, sometimes they had little down points where you had to get amped up. They amped you up, brung you down, and it was like that's an 8. But it was still good because it's based off true story. I had to go at least close to 10 because it's based off some real shit. Like it's but no fantasy stuff. Some real tech, and they put all the technical stuff in it. But would have made it a 10 though, if they would have dig a little bit deeper into his mind and showed us other things that he did other than solve the enigma. You know what I'm saying? A man that much genius did not just create one machine. They only talked about what they wanted in that movie.
He did multiple machines. He told us.
They never showed it. They only
that's only because they had him on the on the government mission.
Yeah,
because he was a secret agent or whatever. But
they don't say that. What else he got created?
He probably did more, or they stole something from somebody that looked like us.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because
we know you would.
It was all there. It was everything was right there. Like it was the enigma for me. It was the beginning to the end for me. It was everything in between. It was the shit that you didn't hear, but you heard it, and you saw it. I thought that it was a great, great, great movie. That's why I had peeped it, and
No,
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
I would
What
give
about
it a
y'all?
9. I would give it
You at
a
a 9?
9. I mean, you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
Why I gotta get you? I was listening.
9.
What? What is this?
I give it a 9. And the reason why I give it a 9 because I feel like we are all puzzle pieces, right?
Yeah.
And you have first got to put your own puzzle pieces together first to know you and be comfortable with being different, be comfortable with being unique, and learn why you have the gifts and the talents that you have and why you see things the way you see it because it's connected to what you're going to do in life. You know, once you get your connection, you got your puzzle together, then you can continue to go out, connect with the people, and have, you know, relationships and put the bigger puzzle pieces together. So I really think it was great that that lets me know that whatever you put your mind to, you can create. There's no limitations. There, you know, if you got that passion, you got that fire. That's what he was doing with all that he did. It was something that kept pushing him, that lit him to keep going and going. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That there's no limit to your full potential, and he used it. You know, and in his uniqueness. Where people weren't able to appreciate it, he was focused. So, like he knew what he came to do, and you know, he had his fun within whatever. But you know, that is always what we're gonna have. We're gonna always have temptation, always.
Right.
No matter how it comes, we ain't gonna judge because we all gonna have it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So you know, we have to overcome those temptations, you know, and do it. And sometimes, you know, we don't know where he is in his point in life because for me, you know. You could have been in the second, third, fourth, 10th, 100th life. I don't know. But each time you have it, you have the opportunity to do better. So that's what I see. So I give it a 9.
Okay.
Inspired.
Come on, my Angel. That was good. Y'all got some good pictures right there. Y'all better watch it. So y'all going all in depth and all extra spice with it. Like, what she got to say? Go ahead. We gotta go. Go ahead. But go ahead. I know you're gonna say something. Go ahead.
I get treated like that. Well, I give it a 10.
Yes.
And the reason why I give it a 10 because it was a reflection for me. I am that person that loved numbers, was a genius in school, never studied, to pour tests, and got 100 all through high school, elementary, grammar school, college, never had an issue with it. And I'm artistic and been a loner. And had communication issue, couldn't express myself. People wouldn't listen, didn't know how to understand me, picked on me because of who I am and how I thought, my perspective of things. And I remember a conversation me and April had doing a few years ago, and she was saying, sis, I wouldn't have never knew this about you. She said, don't nobody know who you are. That's why they don't like you. So that kind of hit home for me, this movie did, because I knew you couldn't do it by yourself. So you have to have a circle. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing something and fulfilling your purpose, you can't
read the comments, but I can't see that.
You can't, because it's not one. That's
go ahead.
You can't do it by yourself. And when they brought this circle in, he knew who he was. He knew his ability. He knew what he can do. And he knew that, and he was bold with it. I'm bold. I know. He didn't have any attachment. So that was me. No attachment. So I saw myself more with him. And what we do with the Sacred Lotus Flower is build a sister circle, because you can't do it by yourself. And I learned that. So that movie hit home for me, and to show me to continue to express myself, because he wasn't able to, and to continue to be who I am and confident, because why? I got my sisters and I got my brother right here, my circle. You get what I'm saying? That's going to always keep me, you know what I'm saying, on my toes. And I'm staying focused, because one thing I am, I'm focused on me. Ain't nothing gonna stop that. No person,
And
no situation.
another thing that really stood out to me is the reason why I gave it a 10 is because no matter what he experienced as a kid in prison, growing up, or anything, he never let anybody tell him that he was less than who he thought he was. He stuck to it, and he knew his gift. He knew it was gonna work,
Right.
and that stood out for me.
Right. He never doubted. So that's why I gave it to, because I'm not doubting myself. I'm not doubting. I know that.
I'm gonna tell you
know
something.
who I am.
Honestly.
So when you know who you are, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be bold with it. You're damn right. You're gonna be bold with it. So that's the reason why I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Ooh, y'all hilarious.
No, honestly, it would have been a whole lot bigger rating, man. It's like got to be a balance, because remember, we is giving the movie Decoding. There's a language that got to be spoke, which is the entertainment part, which is the wisdom part, the knowledge, the subliminal message.
I loved everything about the movie, and I did, because it's based on a true story.
I just hate that they didn't talk more about on the Germans, because that's what it was going against. They barely showed what was going on the side with the Germans, Nazi war, like what the plan was really.
Trying to let you know that he was the first one to build the computer, and that's what that was about.
Bruh, they could have went more in depth with that, like just a little bit more in depth. I got the purpose, but check your lips. I'm gonna say we're gonna have a technical
government secret. Why would they show too much? They're not gonna do it.
See, you're not listening. That's the problem.
I heard you. What they should have done. I got you.
Listen to what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Them not talking about the Nazi side. It's not top secret for the United States side. But they had to add that as just an assumption of what the Germans was going through on their side when they didn't know the Americans was over here doing some top secret trying to crack their code. They changed the code literally every 20 minutes to 24 hours, so it messed them up every time they had to solve one page. They had to. So at the end of the day. So mine would have been better. I just wish they had more action on the Nazi side explaining what the whole war was about in the first place, other than racism, whatever. But they didn't explain all that. But they should have showed more about what Alan was good at than just that one machine, because they kept insinuating it and showing his true talents, but they didn't go into it. They were still trying to bring in too many characters, but the focus should have been more on Alan and not everybody else, really. You know what I'm saying? They should have dug just a little bit more on Alan. Like the movie was moving fast, and it was kind of throwing Alan around. You know what I'm saying? Like he was here, he was a kid, then he was at his house, then he was older, then he was like 6. I'm like,
yeah, that's right.
I
love movies like that.
So, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes they can move a little fast.
That means you gotta listen. They help your listening skills. They help your vision that you can catch everything. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you talking to a person that writes novels and stories. Detail is all I care about. But the main part is they threw his story around. And they didn't really do it with elegance too much, because this dude was depressed. Man, out of all that, nobody got this man some help. Like he needed somebody by his side, bro.
How did none of them kids had no more parents? They had shipped their ass off. Do you see how
had to get older.
Parents got rid of?
Bruh. He had to get older at some point.
He killed himself at 41.
At 41, he was young.
Oh, well, I'm going to say it like this. I don't want to say this, but did he? I'm going to leave that right there. Did he? He allegedly killed himself.
Right.
That man might be living in the Riviera somewhere chilling.
Right.
You talking about top secret. That man might be on the island chilling like a mother.
Yes. You're right. He allegedly did it. You're right.
Because, I mean, because based on the true story, I mean, regardless of what it might be, I got to still put a little respect on the name, because the dude was a real person or whatever. And based on true story, and it's like they just like saying my man committed suicide. He was rejected. He could have been rejected out of the army because of sexual preference or whatever the case may be. The dude was just depressed. They didn't trust his genius. It was like they was treating him like shit the whole movie. Like, you mean this man ain't had
because
no
of the whole
time?
pedophile shit. That was the whole thing that they kept that over his head the entire time, was the fact that he slept with little boys.
He didn't do that though, did he?
Well, that's what they kept
But you
up
know
over
what?
him, because if they would have told it, then they would have never utilized his machine. That was the whole purpose for keeping it a secret. Everybody remember that everybody got a secret. You tell it, I'm gonna make sure they know about you, and then your machine is not gonna be no machine.
But see, it was blackmail though. You
Right.
had to have either a lie or some over somebody's head. The government can't have you working for them and not have no dirt on you, or
Right.
even a lie as dirt on you. Because if you mess up, we gonna destroy you, nigga. Excuse my language, but that's just what it is.
Yeah. Right. The three of God's angels. She says, so Annu Way, you related? Yes, I did. I saw a lot of me in him, and a lot, especially dealing with Maá. Yes.
I don't think that's what she asked us. I don't think.
What she asking me?
She said that she relates to him, so she relates him to the math part, through the mind.
Through the mind and artistic ways. And that's what it's talking about. What you talking about? See that?
No.
You see the experience that I'm having right now? Because you don't try to. That's the only related part. That
Y'all don't look alike. You and Alan don't look alike.
Communication, we have technical
difficulties. But we do.
Three of God angels, can you elaborate, sis? Please, because she thinks she related to Alan now. You just.
Right. Yes, I felt that I did because of a lot of things that in my life.
And that was what she was asking too. Oh my God, really?
Yeah. That I was. You said, is that what you?
That is what I was asking.
Like info or? Please don't say that. Don't say that. But I related myself with them because it was a reflection in a lot of ways.
Don't give me no fuel.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't give me no fuel for that one there, boy.
I saw myself in a lot of ways because the first thing is April brought me the movie because who it reminded her when she watched the movie. So if I see it, I know she saw it.
But I think we all
that was the thing. But I was just saying when she was talking about me.
No.
Right. That's why I felt so close and connected to it because of that very reason and how different because of my communication. That's the whole thing. Me didn't know how to express like I do now. A little bit more than I used to, because I had the fear of going live, talking, expressing about myself. I would get caught up and couldn't do it like he did, how he stuttered when he tried to explain or express himself. He couldn't do it, and I used to do the same thing, but I used to shut down and didn't say nothing, and I did.
Watch yourself. Say that shit. Say that shit. You better say it.
I sat down and heal myself and actually learn, and it's hard work to do that because being different, guess what? That's what we're supposed to be. It's different. But we don't allow each other to be different in our unique ways because you have no idea what a person can do for you. You don't know if they're going to say
boring ass world if everybody was the same, though, man. If everybody was the same, this world would be boring.
But it's a lot of people that want to be like somebody. It's a lot of people want to fit in those same shoes as other people. It's a lot of people that.
I mean,
that will shadow the shit out of you. They will shadow ban the shit out of you, and you won't even know it. You be like, damn, why I feel like get your ass back. Right, because they want to be like you.
Yeah, we supposed to embrace it. Because if not, we all cookie cutter, and there is no. We're supposed to celebrate people's differences, but instead we got to play the imitation game because we won't accept ourselves as we are because it's always telling us to be something different. This is not how you do this.
We was groomed into that. Everybody was groomed into do what I say do. This how it's supposed to be. Woo woo woo. This is what it's supposed to look like. And so you grow up pretending and faking and doing the shit that somebody else told you to do and not what you know to do for yourself or choose to do for yourself. Every time I would do what I wanted to do, I would get my ass tore out the frame because I did not mind my Oh, because I ain't gonna say mine. I was rebellious because I did what I wanted to do and not what everybody else thought I was supposed to do. I take that. I took that every time. Oh well, I took it every time. I did. I chose me. No matter what it was. If I got locked out the house all motherfucking weekend, I'm out. See your ass on Sunday night before 12. Oh, okay then. I did it.
So I'm a
I didn't
label
like my
sister had to
food
drop.
touching.
Everybody dropping them gems. You know what I was saying?
I didn't want to eat.
I didn't like my food touching. I had to have each food on its own thing. I would cry if it touched. They would be like,
Wait a
you
minute.
cannot
I
do it.
didn't eat.
It's all going down the same way.
I have to be very particular. See, my
So
thing is, I had it like that even with my clothes. You get what I'm saying? Certain things y'all I used to do that y'all don't know that it was really bad when I couldn't do certain. You know, people look at you like you got what? You do what? You know what I'm saying? Because of
look,
your artistic
man.
ways. And I'm very
Let me
artistic.
I want to bring it back to the source of the adjustment for people that don't understand what we're talking about. It's the imitation game based on the true story.
Yeah.
This is the code to tell everybody, man. Just if you watch the movie, it is a great watch. You have a rating of an 8, 9, and 2 10s. You know what I'm saying? If you take the time out to understand it and not judge it off front, because if you feel like this, if you can watch, what's that dang old movie that shows you to come on with Taraji P and Terrence Howard?
Empire.
Empire. If you can watch Empire, you can watch this. Far as, cause like, you know, some people, you know, it's usually probably gonna be the male, the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, just watch the movie for the movie itself without judgment. It's deeper than what people say Dakota. I mean, the brother was
You gotta
dealing with
listen.
duality.
You
You know what I'm
gotta
saying? What he was dealing
listen
with
very
was
well.
completely duality, dealing with
Yeah.
self, another side of self. You know what I'm saying? So if
Yeah.
y'all get a chance, y'all check the ratings. I can actually say 100% on my side. I okay it, bro. Like y'all go ahead and check it out. Because if it wasn't, I was like, man, it was trash. You know what I'm saying? No, it was not trash. It was a good movie. It had a good story to it, even though based on true story. But I'm pretty sure they washed it up a little bit with some extra entertainment to make it more appealing to tell somebody else's story. Because he was Alan. I'm pretty sure he wasn't that exciting. He didn't seem that exciting. So they probably had to spice it up just a tad bit because Alan seems very boring as a person.
He
But
was.
the movie told
He was a
his
loner.
story. He was a
He ain't
genius.
had
He's a
no
loner. So they had,
parents. He
you
ain't
know.
had no friends. Friend died. He was a loner. That's what
So
It was
loners
your
just
do.
brother,
him all by himself.
look,
Cause he was
this ain't gonna
weird.
be
He
the
was different.
last.
He did not want to be alone.
This is not the
That's another
last
related
Dakota.
part. Oh, okay then.
He did not want to be alone. He just broke down. I don't want to be alone. They'll take Christopher away from me, you know. But he just said a couple of statements before that that he wasn't alone. So, you know.
So if you haven't watched it, please do so.
Look,
Because it's not the last time we gonna watch a movie and decode it. This was so great. So we want to thank all of you. Okay, we getting ready to give y'all update. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have any more questions or comments, please do so we can answer them. Now, what she said? She said, wait a minute, hold on. It's a question right here, y'all. Don't y'all see it?
My sis keep closing out and bringing it back in. Go ahead. We're gonna have a technical difficulty.
That was about the narcissistic.
Yeah.
When she let him know that he was a narcissist, she had busted him out and
Right,
let him know. She threw that shit right back at him. But that's because she was not gonna allow him to reject her because of what he thought in his mind. She was bringing him back to himself, even though he was still pushing her off and pushing her away. She still was standing and sticking by him because she knew him for
That's what
him, and she
everybody.
and
didn't
he
judge him.
took that shit. He
Yeah.
stood there and took it and say, no, I like you. I don't want to lose you. He finally expressed himself. And he did. He never expressed nobody that how he felt. And he told her that.
Right.
He was willing to mess with her.
Mm-hmm.
To put everything aside.
So look,
If he would
we're gonna have some
never went if they
this
would
is
have never
not
got him
going to
court,
be the
if he would have never
last
went to court,
decoding movie. Please remember Untouchable Rootz outside the box. This is not going to be the last. This is not going to be the last decoding of the movies. Everybody gonna get to pick one, okay? Everybody, no, don't look at my sister. Act like she ain't even there. Just look. Y'all
I'm just making sure we
understand. It's some big things going on. So I gotta yell because sister be on some ill. Y'all go check it out. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're trying to get our YouTube page above 100. Okay, at least before the summer. Those are months. Get that subscribe going, so you know what I'm saying. At some point in time, when Untouchable Rootz outside the box get to a certain point, we can go live. You know what I'm saying on YouTube. I don't know if they allow multiple lives for that. I gotta check that out, but we're soon at some point to be going live on YouTube. You know what I'm saying, which accumulate a whole lot of view time and things like that. But y'all go check out the Imitation game, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Like, comment. If y'all got any movies y'all want decoded, man, send that to Untouchable Rootz, and that's Rootz with a Z_OTB@hotmail.com. It'll be in the description at the bottom, because your brother got to grab him some water and something to eat, and I'm ready to watch another movie right after this.
We get ready to do an update, though. We do have a drawing coming up at the end of March, and we would like for you to email your topic, okay, and your method of payment. If you want to keep it anonymous, please do so. Send your email when you subscribe. Follow us on IG, on Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. And guess what? We're gonna give a seed of $75 to the next drawer. Yes, yay!
That's my poetry snap. I mean, I'm a writer. I got to get a poetry snap.
Already email. Do not send an email. We have your last email. This is for the new ones, okay? If you haven't, please send in your email so you can have an opportunity to get a $75 seed, okay? Now, we will be back on a Thursday in March, but we will be posting the date that we'll be back in March, okay? And the date for the drawing as well. And we appreciate your support and your following, and we thank you.
Yes, we do.
You see how she had to close out, right? You see how she had just dismiss everything and re-close out. I don't like you. I just don't.
Guess what? Get in line. Please get in line. Please get in line. Don't you see I got a whole line? I got a whole line. I do too.
Is that a tall line or a short line? Is that a tall line or a short line?
Get in line. Get in line.
We appreciate your participation. Thank you all.
I get low.
Love and wholeness.
Peace
Love
and
love. See you guys
outside the
next month. Don't forget to watch for the update. All right.
And our next topic.
Annu Way is giving away $1 million. Annu Way is giving away $1 million.
No, the latest last.
I'm sending the topic. I'm damn sure sending the topic.
Communications are shutting down. 5, 4, 3.